Hi and welcome back to the channel. Those that follow the channel know that I resprayed the MGA, but I mean back in October last year. And in the main it turned out pretty good. The paint's had plenty of time to settle. Probably a little bit dusty now, but needs a little bit of a wipe off. But generally okay. I had a few drips and problems, and in fact at the end of the video I'll post the link to some of the videos that I've done to cure those sorts of issues. But now I'm dead keen on getting back onto this, doing the exciting bit, which is putting it back together. Now I had a few problems on the wings at the back, so a few drips. I had high humidity. It was getting a bit colder back in October, caused me a few problems, and to be honest with you, I thought about trying to cut back those individual runs and sort those out, but there was too much, so I just took the whole thing back, and about 2 weeks ago resprayed the wings, and they come out great. Having done that though, I probably went a little bit thick on the paint. I was a bit nervous that I was going to have problems again, and I just didn't want to go through all that. So it's a little bit orange peely. I don't know if you can pick that up. I'll try and get some better shots on this, but we've got a, yeah, there you go. You can see it along the line, along the top there. You can see there's a bit of orange peel. So today's job is to cut back particularly the wings, but I want to get most of this area done because there's a few jobs I want to do. I want to get the piping in between these, put the fuel cap back on, blah blah blah, a few other jobs. So I'm just going to work on the back of the car, cut this back, get it polished, and see if I can get a nice finish back on that. That's the plan. Let's get on with it. Okay, you don't need a lot of tools and material for this job, but you do need the right stuff. So I'm going to start off with a 2000 grit, then move up to 2500, and then finish with a 3000 grit. Yep, that's your 3000 there. So that's the cutting, the major part of the cutting back with paper. I use soapy water and a sponge to help facilitate that, and then move on to cutting and polishing. This is the product I use. It seems to work well for me. So there's an abrasive compound, then a finisher, then the wax. In terms of what I want to achieve, this door, you won't see it, but I did have a drip on that door, so I fixed the drip. And then I cut that back, so that's kind of the level of finish I want. And if you look at the, if you can get it, if you look at the line there of the strip light above, so that's kind of what I want to achieve, and that's currently what we've got. So you can clearly see the orange peel there, so we're going from that to that. So that'll be the test at the end of the process. Oh, one thing I didn't mention is I've got some tape here as well. So last thing you really want to do is to cut through on, you know, down to through the paint onto the undercoat, because then if you got to repaint, start again. And the areas where that's likely to happen is in the edges. So where I feel as I'm working that there's going to be an edge of some sort that might well break through, I'll put some tape on there just to protect it so I can't accidentally do that. And fingers crossed we don't get any breakthroughs and we get a nice finish. Okay, I've got a really good light source here so I can see what I'm doing. I've done a little bit of masking, and basically this is I'm just going to do a panel at a time, starting on this wing, and just with lots of nice bit of soapy water. I'm just going to gently, just very gently, just take the surface off of this, keeping the paper nice and flat. It's all difficult on an MGA because there are so many curves, so it's a little bit of a tricky process, but you can see, there we go, just starting to take the surface nipples off of that orange peel. and it's just a question of working around the whole panel in this fashion. Hey, I've just had a thought. If anybody's got the rubber for the rear window, a spare one that I could have, buy it, happy to pay for it. I'd be very grateful. I've scoured the planet, it seems, to get hold of one, and nobody's got any stock. So just thought I'd ask if there's anybody out there watching the video, if you've got a rubber for the rear windscreen, please drop me a comment, and I'd be very grateful to hear from you. Thank you. Okay, I've gone over the whole of the panel now, and it's at this point you think, oh crap, what have I done? Because you had something that was really quite nice, and now it's kind of, oh my word. But you can see there, I've taken the heads off of all of the orange peel, and in places it's really totally smooth, but it's not all smooth. Now it's up to you how far you go with this, because obviously the more you cut, the more chance you've got of breaking through, and you'll still get a nice finish. So I'm just going to go a little more, but not too excessive, and then we'll move up the grades. Well, that's exciting. Got some new parts. Floors turned up. There we go. So we got some 9mm hardwood marine ply just showed up. Big sheet of that. Excellent. Next job will be that after I finish what I'm doing. Good stuff. Right, okay, I'm done. It's taken quite a while. I know it's been on time lapse, but I've been at that for a while till I've got that to where I want it to. Now I'm moving up to 2,500. It's a faster process because what I'm trying to do now is reduce the scratch of the scratch that I've put in. As we go up, we get finer and finer. So I'll run over with this with the soapy water again, and that'll start to get a little bit more of a consistent dullness. We'll see how that goes. Well, there you go. Dull, more consistent, smoother, feels good. Moving on to the 3000 now. Again, even faster process because you're just reducing the scratch of the 2,500, and that should come up to a kind of a dull polish before we get onto the compounds. Well, there we go. It's pretty even. I think maybe I could have done just a touch further, but I'm happy to stick here. I don't want to go too far. And now I'm going to move on to the compound. It's just an abrasive compound, and the dual action machine there, and just give that a run over. I'll do it dry to start with, and then I like to add a little bit of water to onto the pad, and then just gives a slightly finer cut. We'll just see what that looks like when that's done. Right, let's give it a go. Just small sections at a time, just to keep it contained. I've been thinking about getting myself a smaller mop, just a smaller machine, because it is so intricate on the MGA, but this is all I've got, so we're using this. Let's give it a little wipe over, just to see how that's coming. Oh blimey, yeah, look at the shine already on that. That's good. That's okay, that's gonna do fine. Okay, let's carry on. Well, that's not come up too bad, has it? There we go. I could have gone just a little more, I think, but I can always polish it again when the car's finished. That's enough for me to want to, carry on and get the piping in and that kind of stuff. Can you see there's kind of a little bit, there's some like, well, they can call them fish eyes in there. So I'm going to put the finish on now and just see if they come out with the finish. So for the finish you want a yellow mop. It's a lot softer than the more aggressive red one. Don't need much on there either, or it makes a hell of a mess. So if it comes out at all, just a little bit of that on there, dub it around and just run it over quickly. Okay, that wing's done. I didn't wax, so we'll leave that till at the end. Let's do a quick comparison. So if you just look at the strip light above there, you can see plenty of ripple going on there, and on this side, ooh, not too bad. Look at that. Look at the shine in there. It's lovely. I think I say I could have gone just a tad further, but there's always time to polish it later once it's all back together. So just going to do the other wing, and then I can get my my piping back in, and that'll look great, I think. Well, there we go, final polish, done the boot and the back, and bling bling bling, looks pretty good. Very pleased. Right, now got to get the strips in. So they came a few weeks ago now, so I've got this edging strip. It's in silver. I think it'll set off the car really nicely. Just got to slot those in. Prepping up the tail lights, well, the headlight there as well, but I've ordered some new rubbers for that because these are a bit perished. I might have to reuse these ones because it's kind of getting hard to get parts these days. Certain things you can't get, particular rubber bits. So I might try and clean those up and use those. But I know for the rear light, which I've got a new lens for, I can get the rubber for that or sit around that, and also for the indicator. Anyway, let's get that in. Right, this is exciting, but top tip of the day, and you're all going to say, yeah, well, that's obvious, Al, but I painted the car all together, all assembled with the wings on, and I was done under advisement. Very good tip, because you make sure you get a really good kind of colour match, and there's no, you know, difference in the between the panels in colour. However, you got to leave a gap, so I didn't. So I did sort this out a few weeks ago, but the panels stuck together, so I paint bridging between the wing and the body, which took me a while to undo without doing some serious damage. So leave some space, put them on, but you know, gap. That's my tip. And as I say, you'll probably say, well, that's obvious. Right, so this is exciting though. It's going on. I'm pressing down at each bolt point. You can kind of see the bolt in there. There you go. You need to take a V out, make a little cut in, because otherwise the tab's too long. But it seems to be sitting in nicely, so I think that's going to turn out all right. And now I get to connect up the rear wiring loom, nice brand new wiring loom, to the back lights, or at least the, you know, facilitate pushing it through the bodywork ready for the lights. And I've got myself some dielectric grease to help protect these connectors from corrosion as well. So I can't get new rubber gaskets for the rear lights at the moment, out of stock. Hopefully at some point they come in, but I've cleaned these up. Haven't come out too bad, and they're silver actually, once I got all the paint and rubbish off them. That's what we've got, which is good news. So it's just a question now of threading the wires through and bolting this nice shiny piece on. He says simply. Probably not going to be that easy, but we'll try. We'll get there. Well, there we go. I'm really pleased. It's looking good. I had trouble fitting the gaskets. They're old and warped, I think, so I'm going to try harder to see if I can get a new set just to go around the light clusters on the back. But it's looking, oh, it's almost looking like a real car now, all back together. But much more to do yet. Floors next, I think, probably, or just complete the wiring and the dashboard. One of those two jobs you'll see next. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please like if you did and subscribe if you haven't. And I'll see you next time. Thanks, bye.